Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the show Behind the Scenes of Health to Ron. And like I usually say, if you're new here, my name is Ronald and I talk about everything healthcare, health tech, alternative careers. Sometimes I do live interviews with people, and if that's the kind of content you're looking for, you're in the right place. So just hit the subscribe button. And to my returning viewers, the subscriber, thank you guys for sticking around and always, watching, pushing the video and the channel. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for that. So on today's episode, it actually comes up from the conversation I had with a colleague a couple of maybe days ago, where we're just talking about transitioning to health tech and all those conversations. Everybody's looking for how to move into health tech, and the assumption is that, health tech is probably the easy way out, or where people just get paid for maybe doing nothing in quotes, probably easier than clinical medicine. I was like, well, hell no, that's not the truth, really. If you're trying to transition with the assumption that it's easier on this other side, then you'll be in for a road shock. So I just thought I'd do a video to probably use my story as an example to highlight how I did it, what are the challenges I faced, what are the challenges I'm still facing at the moment, and how I'm navigating all of that. So probably that could also help somebody out there who's trying to figure it all out. I'm still trying to figure it out, so we don't all have it figured out. We're just taking it one day at a time, right? So let's just get into the conversation. So first of all, well, a little bit of my own background. So I've been a clinical or clinician for a little about over 8 years now, and it was during the whole COVID saga and everything that actually started looking at this side of medicine. Keenly the whole telemedicine thing, remote consultation, supporting developers in building EMR systems and all of that. And I started seeing how that could fit into my own career. And it was really interesting, really. And because I was beginning to enjoy, even though I was combining with my regular clinical work, so I was enjoying it because I saw the flexibility. You're just in your house, you just got your internet, good internet connection and a laptop, and you're able to do what you have to do your meetings on Zoom and all that. So I practically enjoy that. And for other persons, their reasons might be different for really, trying to say, okay, should we move or should we not move and all of that. But that was for me what my motivation was. It was more like interest in technology, a need for flexibility, work-life balance. Probably having more time to myself, really, because medicine really takes you. So I think those are my reasons for trying to see, okay, can we get to this other side and see what it holds for me, really. you know so getting into this other side, it wasn't easy because it's a whole new industry on its own. It's a whole new learning curve, depending on what you want to learn or what role you want to play in that industry. But I'll still talk about transferable skills which give you an advantage to make that transition really easy for you. So in terms of skills gap now, I had to start learning the the industry. I had to start learning the language, the lingo, because you're dealing with developers every day. You're talking to salespeople. You're doing negotiations. You're doing marketing. Um, you're doing business processes. You're trying to understand the reasons why the developers are doing what they are doing, or why the hospital organization is trying to take this decision and all of that. So it was a whole new experience for me. So I constantly had to be reading, it was on YouTube, taking courses, um, just to bridge that skills gap, because really once you start, you will see that deficiency there. That look, you really have a lot to learn and pick up. I'm not saying it was easy, but I mean with hard work and dedication, you can actually learn all of those things. So the key challenge, or one of the key challenges I faced, was the skills gap. So I needed to bridge that skill, especially learn about the industry, the language, the technical terms, and all of that, and what they mean and how they translated to the day-to-day work people did. And another key problem I faced was also where to settle, because health tech, like I keep saying, is very wide. You have project management, you have product management, you have sales and marketing, you have UI UX, you have training, you have learning and adoption, you have cybersecurity, you have data analysis, you have data science. I mean, it's a whole wide world, and it's very confusing to say where am I going to sit in, or which one am I going to do. So that's another big challenge too. So for me, I had to navigate my way around most of them to finally say, okay, this is what I really want to do, and I don't like all this other part. So that confusion is usually always there. So it's a key challenge. Then the adjustment period. I mean, it's a whole new world for you, and you don't expect to probably really settle down quickly, as as if maybe you're a clinician in the hospital, you know your way and all of that. So because it's a different ball game, you're going to have to get used to new ways of working. You know, you're doing meetings online rather than, you know, the regular clinical meetings we do. People present, you know, they tear you apart in the presentations and all of that, which is usually again a learning environment anyway. But now you're working more remotely, you're using new tools, you have to learn how to use tools depending on what area you're in. I mean, you have to start learning project management tools or product management tools or business process if you're a business analyst, you know, the tools of whatever. If you're a data analyst, start learning things like Excel, Power BI, SQL, and all of that. So you need to start learning all those tools. And typically that takes a while, but again, it depends on how dedicated, committed you are. A couple of people pick up basic skills in 3 months, 6 months, depending. Some maybe a year. But again, it all depends on you and how you want to go about it. But for me, I think the my adjustment period was about maybe 6 months, because yeah, it was tough combining with clinical work and still trying to learn this other part. Another thing is the lack of experience. So when you start, that's going to be very obvious that this is not your domain. You don't know this. You don't have the experience. That's why most times I tell people try and volunteer. That is where you start picking up those valuable skills, or you go for an internship, whether it's paid or unpaid. So it's a good avenue for you to pick those skills that you need to, hit the ground running in whatever role you find yourself. But for starters, you're going to be, I mean, it's like a fish out of water. There'll be lack of experience. So basically, what I did was, volunteer for some organizations, do free work for them, uh, networked with people, look for people who are in that space, work with them, do project with them, support them in whatever way I could. And in return, teaching me what the industry was and how we operated. So that was really helpful. So I just mentioned about networking. Then in terms of resources and support, this is very key, because you're going to be learning a lot, and YouTube is a very great resource, for whatever you want to learn. I'm not sure there's anything you want to learn that is not on YouTube. So you want to make YouTube your greatest buddy or ally, you know. Then there are courses on, EDX, Coursera, and some other online learning platforms where you can learn some of these things. So you just pick whatever it is, and you go learn it there. Then I can't discount the importance of mentorship. Having people who have walked that path, close to them, talk to them, get insights from them. I mean, they've walked down that path, so they're definitely going to make your journey very short or shorter than what they passed through. So you want to look for a mentor. I mean, mentorship comes in different ways. I don't need to talk to you every time to probably, be a mentor. I know people who write maybe monthly newsletters or daily newsletters or weekly newsletters. Some of those people, you could follow them, subscribe to their newsletters, and you're getting the information that you really need on how to progress in certain areas and all of that. So you want to look at how you can leverage all those kind of resources to get where you want to be really. And then I talk about transferable skills. So this was part that really um, helped me to navigate the arena smoothly, right? Because as healthcare professionals, you've got tons of transferable skills that you can use in any sector that you're trying to get into. I mean, things like teamwork, communication skills, um, good interpersonal skills, presentation skills, collaboration, networking. I mean, there are tons of skills that you could use from whatever role you play in the healthcare space and easily put them on the other side. And that's usually the advantage I talk about, all the time. That I mean, if you're looking to transition, you shouldn't be worried so much because you've got transferable skills that people are looking for really. And for the fact that you're in the healthcare space and you already have domain knowledge, which a lot of people don't have. So you're some sort of a subject matter expert when it comes to a couple of maybe conversations or discussions that are going on. So yes, it's a plus for you. So you shouldn't feel very, what's the word now? You shouldn't feel sad that you're just starting new in a new space and you don't know the industry yet. You've got something that counts for you and counts massively. So that's your transferable skills. Then in terms of advice, so what I would say is for anybody looking to transition or move, I'll just say tech is not the easy way out. So it's not easier than being a clinician or being a nurse or being a pharmacist and all of that. So, but at the core, you need to understand your why. Why do you really want to move to this other part? Why do you want to transition? Is it burnout? Or you feel you're not making enough money, or you don't have family time, or you don't have time to chase your passions, or that thing. So you really need to understand the why. So once that why becomes clear, so you probably wouldn't be daunted by the early stages of the whole transitioning. Because again, in most cases, you really have to start from the scratch and work your way up the ladder. So you rarely find people who transition and just jump into the top of the ladder um, of the ecosystem. Most times you just come in at the base or come in at the middle and start working your way up. So you have to bear that in mind. So because you understand why of your transitioning, then it's easier to bear that period of transition or progress or whatever you want to call it. Right. Then in terms of challenges which are still I still currently face. So the health tech space is a very fast paced environment, and a lot of new innovations are coming out every day. A new a lot of new strategies, a lot of new techniques, innovation solutions. Everything is coming out, per second, and it's difficult sort of to keep up with the trend really. And that's really the same thing that happens in medicine. For example, if you're a doctor, you're always trying to keep up with latest trends, attending CMEs, what are the latest medications, or there's been a change in guidelines, maybe the NICE or whatever body that produces guidelines for whichever country you practice in. So you have to constantly keep yourself updated. So that's the same thing that happens in the health tech space. You really have to keep yourself updated. You really have to, keep upskilling yourself all the time so that you don't get rusty and they kick you out of the out of the industry, right? So another thing people usually advise is, pick a niche skill that um, that's in demand. I'll probably make a video about the maybe top 10 or top 20 in demand health tech skills so that you see where you probably want to niche down. So we tell you pick a niche area, get good at it so that you always stay relevant in whatever conversation um they want to talk about. Like now, the trend we're talking about AI, machine learning, LLMs, and all of that. So it wouldn't hurt to get your hands dirty in the AI space, right? So, in terms of future outlook, um, yeah, it's very bright, and because we are moving to everybody is digitizing, moving to electronic systems, and that comes with own series of opportunities. You need project managers to deliver those projects. You need product managers. You need trainers. You need data analysts. You need big data analysts. There's a lot of opportunities in the healthcare space based on what's happening in the industry. You see machine learning scientists. You see natural language processing, scientists or experts. So the opportunities are very endless. So that's just to tell you guys that there are a lot of opportunities. So if you're looking to transition, then you shouldn't be scared of what will happen. It's just that you should be ready to put in the hard work, right? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So in summary, I mean, my message is just to say health tech is not the easy way out, or it's not easy as it seems. There's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes. But if you're ready to put in the work, you're also going to reap the rewards of the hard work you've done. So that's it for me. So let me know where your comments are in the comment section. I'm there. I'm going to respond to you. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, and I'll happily answer. I've got a monthly newsletter, behind the scenes in Hell with Dr. Ron, which is on Substack. So you can also subscribe to that to get the monthly things I write about, fun stuff and usually insightful things. And we're also open to collaborations. We're open to sponsorships. And if you're happy to come on the show on my live session, then I'm happy to host you. So you can always send me a DM or an email or whatever. And yeah, we're here to just make the industry more conducive, share stories to inspire people, and yeah, one conversation at a time. So until I see you guys on the next episode, I still remain your host, Dr. Ron, and I'll say bye for now.